Hello everyone, welcome to Aptly Academy for Civil Services. This is a special video on Fortnite Current Affair, also known as FCA. In this particular series, I'll be discussing 10 most important news of the entire fortnight. This is Fortnite 2 for the month of December. We have two fortnight every month. The first fortnight is being released on second Sunday, and the second fortnight is being released on fourth Sunday, right? So the coverage of the news would include three important components. The first would be the Hindu, second the Indian Express, and the PIB. So all the news that I'll be covering would be incorporated from all these three segments. So without any further delay, let's get started. So these are the list of 10 topics. You can pause this video. You can read the entire topic. We'll be discussing each and every news or you can say topic one by one. And before I start, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Aptly Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to give a like button. Starting with the first news, that is Jharkhand plan law against mob lynching. We'll see what are the important aspects of this law, where the cases has been reported regarding the mob lynching in Jharkhand and many other parts of the country. So the Jharkhand government has planned for a new anti-lynching law. This would be known as the Draft Prevention for the Mob Violence and Mob Lynching Bill 2021. And the bill aimed to provide the effective protections and constitutional right for the prevention of mob violence, right? And this law is likely to be introduced in the winter session of the state legislature of Jharkhand. Now we'll understand some of the important provision under this bill and the penal provision that is also there. So what are the provisions under this draft law? So the draft law include the provisions like registration of FIR, the first information report होगी वो register की जा सकेगी in terms of any dissemination of explosive or irresponsible content. Second, this law called for providing the medical facilities to the victim. Third, punishment for creating a hostile environment for the victim or witness. So there would be the punishment of any individual fine, tampering or creating a hostile environment. The draft set a law of maximum punishment of life imprisonment to 20 life imprisonment होगी उसके साथ 25 lakh rupees तक की basically उनको फाइन भी देनी पड़ेगी. And the draft also lists the duties of the police to take reasonable steps identifying the pattern of prevention of mob violence and preventing the lynching incident. So this is a step in the right direction. Many other states need to formulate law in terms of preventing such mob violence. Now the second news, supersonic missile assisted torpedo tested. This is something which is important for General Studies paper 3 and achievement for India in terms of science and technology. So the country has successfully test fired long range supersonic assisted torpedo, जिसको SMART के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, and this was conducted in Balasore in Odisha. The torpedo was launched from the Vellore Island in Odisha, right? क्या advantages हैं supersonic missile के? Basically, if you talk about SMART, the SMART system will help India to enhance the anti-submarine warfare capabilities. Although we have a lot more other basically इस तरह के missile system भी है, but this is something which would be given an additional add-on advantage in terms of anti-submarine warfare. The system is next generation missile based standoff which will be delivering the torpedo delivery system. और ये जो है ये consist करेगी 2-stage solid propulsion, उसके अलावे electronic mechanical actuators and precision inertial navigation, right? So these are the main component which this would be consist of, and this would be giving another leap of advancement in terms of submarine warfare capacity. And SMART would strengthen the country maritime strategic capacities also. Now other news, that is India's laid emphasis on UNCLOS. This is something very important which India has already been advocating for in many multilateral forum, but at this point of time the emphasis has been given to provide a uniform law in terms of UNCLOS. So the central government has informed Parliament that India remained committed to promoting free, open and rule-based order of international law. Right? India ने कुछ अपने end से भी बहुत सारी ऐसे initiatives ली है, domestic initiative which call for the promotion of international laws. So the government has reiterated the support of United Nations Convention on Law of Seas, which is again very important. The fact is that India wants neutrality in the region, and खास करके अगर Indo-Pacific की बात करें, which is a concern for India. So Indo-Pacific region में जहाँ चाइना की dominance काफ़ी ज़्यादा है, we want to reduce that, and many other bilateral agreement is there to reduce the dominance of China. So UNCLOS की अगर बात करें, it was adopted in 1982, but actually it came in effective in 1994. It replaced the Geneva Convention of 1958, right, जहाँ पे बात की गई है टेरिटोरियल सीज की, कॉन्टिन्यूस जोन, कंटिनेंट itself, हाई सीज, फिशिंग एंड कंजर्वेशन रेजोल्यूशंस की, right. So the conservation has become a legal framework and maritime activities. So this is a legal backing. If any country is not obliged to this, they are subject to punishment and any sort of sanction that is required. And it provides for a legal status and different maritime zones also. India की क्या commitment है? The government of India has said that they are interested in safeguarding the maritime interest, और जो security है strengthen करने की कोशिश की जा रही है Indian Ocean region पे. So specifically in IOR as well as in the Indo-Pacific region, India is looking forward for strengthening the security. It also supports the freedom of navigations, impeded commerce, as well as the principle that is highlighted in the UNCLOS 1982. The state party to the UNCLOS, India is although a state party to United Nations laws, and India promoted the utmost respect to this, established the international legal order for sea and ocean, right. इसके अलावा भी इंडिया ने सारे मल्टीलैटरल फोरम्स पे इंडियन ओशनिक रीजन और इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन पे यूनिफॉर्मिटी और इस तरह की मैरीटाइम एनवायरनमेंट में जहाँ पे सस्टेनेबिलिटी हो, ट्रांसपेरेंसी हो, उसको प्रमोट करने की बातें कही है. डिमांड फॉर 6th शेड्यूल सेफगार्ड इन लद्दाख. This was a demand that come from the region, and the tribal people want that their right would only be safeguarded if these are included under the 6th schedule. So we'll understand the provision of 6th schedule also. This is something which is important for prelims and the contemporary issues also, और आपके जो conceptual questions हैं इस particular sections को लेकर के वहाँ पे भी काफी important. So the people of Ladakh has pressed for the demand of statehood in the region, which was carved out with a separate union territory in August 2019 when the new union territory was formed. Abrogation of 370 was there. जब आर्टिकल 370 को एब्रोगेट किया गया था उसके बाद ये फॉर्मेशन की गई थी. The Ladakh MPs are demanding statehood in protection of land and job for the specific region or the people where they belong to, right? बात करें बैकग्राउंड की, what has actually happened in August 15, 2019, जो कि पहले स्टेट थी जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, उसको स्ट्राइप आउट करके बाइफर्केट किया गया था 2 यूनियन टेरिटरीज में, विच इंक्लूड लद्दाख एंड जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. नाउ द रिप्रेजेंटेशन वांट कि लद्दाख के लिए एक स्पेशल लद्दाख हिल डेवलपमेंट काउंसिल एक्ट जो 1977 में पास की गई थी, उसके थ्रू अब इसको 6th अमेंडमेंट में लाया जाए, सो दैट एन ऑटोनोमस काउंसिल वुड बी डेवलप, और वहाँ पे जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन हो वो वहाँ के लोगों को, राइट. सो दिस इज द रीजन दे आर डिमांडिंग, and it need to define what role and responsibility the central government has to play in terms of union territories administration, right. Presently it is being headed by lieutenant governor. Also the role of the gram panchayat become very important in towns council, which has been streamlined. So once the representation is there, it will call for the bottom up approach, जहाँ पे ground level से representation होगी, even the gram panchayat to the top level, the selections of MLAs and MPs from would be there. Basically it would be MLAs only, not MP. Now constitutional safeguard की अगर बात करें, this amendment grants the constitutional safeguard in regard to the employment and cultural identity in the northeastern region as well as which is there in the 6th schedule. तो इससे पहले जो constitutional safeguard है वो दी गई है नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में भी. Now on the same parameter the people of Ladakh want कि उनको भी इसी तर्ज पे 6th schedule में ऐड करने की जरूरत है. So the 6th schedule of the constitution allow greater political autonomy in some tribal area in the northeastern state also. तो जिस तरह से नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में ऑटोनोमस काउंसिल है, उस तरह से लद्दाख में ऑटोनोमस काउंसिल बनाने की बात की जा रही है, so that they can have proper representations. Now what is 6th schedule benefits? These are the static portion. If you talk about the benefits, Article 242 and Article 275 of the Indian Constitution provide for the administration of tribal area with border of the state like Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Now under 6th schedule कुछ autonomous districts और council की establishment की जाती है, जहाँ पे elective representative को एक मौका मिलता है, so they get chance that a proper person whom they want to represent is actually represented in that particular council, right. And a degree of autonomy is there in framing a law for the interest of tribal people. तो वहाँ के जो लोग हैं अपने इंटरेस्ट के अकॉर्डिंगली वहाँ के लॉज बनाने की भी उनकी बेसिकली जो कोशिश होगी वो भी पूरी होगी. दिस इज द रीजन बीइंग द डिमांड फॉर द ऑटोनोमस काउंसिल हैज बीन अपग्रेडेड. Now the demand has also been gathering a momentum in Ladakh too as well. We see how the government is going to formulate this, because this would be more in terms of calling representation rather than any other aspects. Now, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs not for the extension of irrigation scheme. Irrigation is something which is very important in India in terms of ensuring the farm income and doubling the farm income. Now, the first that the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has chaired by the Prime Minister has approved the extension of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, और इसकी जो टाइम टेन्योर बढ़ाई गई है that would be extended in 2026, right? The total amount that was allocated was rupees 93,068 crore rupees. This amount is not important for you, but आपको एक बेसिक आइडिया होना चाहिए कि किस फंड में कितने allocations की जा रही है. The move is expected to fund the irrigation project in India. It will also help to increase the water supply across the northeastern states, which include Delhi as well. तो प्रधानमंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना की अगर बारे में बात करें, this was launched in 2015. It's an umbrella program which provides central grants to the state government as well as any specific detail that is required in terms of irrigation, right? इसके दो मेजर कंपोनेंट हैं, that is this has been handled by the Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Regenerations. तो इनके ये जो प्रोग्राम्स, तीन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोग्राम है which is helping, and again this program is very important for your prelims examination also. The first is Accelerated Irrigation Benefits program, और उसके बाद हर खेत को पानी. We'll see that how the other development program of water safe development is also helping. So first is Accredited Irrigation Benefit Program. It's a flagship program by the Government of India which aims to provide financial support to the irrigation projects. उसके अलावा it call for inclusion of criteria that has been relaxed by the project under the tribal and drought prone areas. हर खेत को पानी, this is again a very important steps, or you can say the scheme by the Government of India which aims to enhance the physical access to farm and expansion of cultivable areas under the insurance, or you can say the irrigations areas. And it called for a minor irrigations and repair innovation in terms of restoring the water bodies, and targeted around 4.5 hectare of irrigation. This is something the target has been set. So although these schemes call for more progress, but whatever the achievement have been so far is commendable at the par at the excellence, right? Now, watershed development program की अगर बात करें, this component focuses on development of rainfed areas towards soils and water conservation, regeneration of groundwater, accessing the runoff, promoting extension activities, as well as water harvesting and management. So watershed development inevitably would be helping to store water and even call for more sustainable use of water resources. Now, Cabinet approved the scheme to boost semiconductors. So recently, the Union Cabinet has approved an amount of 76,000 crore rupees to boost semiconductor and display manufacturing in country, right? इस allocations के बाद जो पूरी corpus central government ने दी है to incentivize electronics would be 2.3 lakh crore rupees. अभी तक government ने इतनी पैसे दिए हुए हैं including this one, right? So how this is going to help? What is the main aim of this scheme? It called for comprehensive program which aims for the development of sustainable semiconductor and ecosystem in our country. Mostly we import semiconductor from China. After this, जो मेक इन इंडिया इनिशिएटिव है, जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत की जो स्कीम है, वो प्रमोट की जाएगी, एंड इवन इंडिया वुड कॉल फॉर इट्स ऑल ओवर रोबस्ट डेवलपमेंट ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर्स. It would ensure making India a global hub in terms of electronic system design and manufacturing. और ये प्रोवाइड करेगी फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट अप टू 50% ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट फॉर सेटिंग अप सेमीकंडक्टर एंड फैब्रिकेशन यूनिट. ऐसी कोई नई स्टार्टअप जो कि सेमीकंडक्टर सेक्टर्स में आती है तो उनको रिजम्पशंस दी जाएगी, उनको बेनिफिट्स दिए जाएंगे, उनके लिए एक फंड रेज की जाएगी, एंड इवन दे वुड बी गेटिंग द रिबेट और यू कैन से द सब्सिडी अप टू 50% फॉर द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट. India Semiconductor Missions की अगर बात करें, which was being led by the global expert in the semiconductor and display industries. This particular would be handled by the nodal agency for efficient and smooth implementation for the scheme on semiconductor and display ecosystem. तो ये जो पूरी मिशन होगी सेमीकंडक्टर की, that would be handled, and there would be a sub part under the India Semiconductor Missions. Advantages क्या क्या होंगे स्कीम के? The scheme call for propelling of innovation and building our domestic capabilities, जहाँ पे हमारी digital sovereignty of India को promote की जाएगी, and we would be less dependent on the import of semiconductor from any other countries. It will also call for high skill employment opportunities that will harness demographic dividend in our country. It will call for more and more job opportunities as well, right? तो high quality अगर jobs की बात करें, direct jobs that would be given to people would be 35,000, and indirect job would be around 1 lakh person would be employed in the sector, which is again very important. Now, election law amendment bill, this bill was passed with a lot of controversy that is arising in terms of integration of Aadhaar and the any other digital which is there, like in terms of voter ID जो भी हैं उन लोगों उस चीज़ों को इंटीग्रेट करने की बात कही गई है. So the election law amendment bill that was passed recently, the bill seeks to allow the electoral registration that offer to seek Aadhaar number of the people who want to register for the purpose of establishing their identity, right? So the opposition and even the expert are of the opinion Aadhaar carries some of the most significant data of an individual regarding the phone numbers, address, and all other sort of stuffs. So why government is trying to integrate? What is the intention they want? इसको voluntary रखने की जरूरत है. Government ने कहा ये voluntary है, but the intention of the government is considered to be mala fide. What is the aim of this bill? It also seeks to allow the electoral registration officer, जो आधार के जो registration basically फिर जो you can see the electoral registration officers जो होंगे ERO जिसको कहते हैं, they would have already included in the electoral roll, जहाँ पे purpose of identification जो है वो electoral roll के अंदर तभी की जाएगी once they have their Aadhaar number, right? And the identification registration in name of person for the electoral roll or more in any one constituencies, जहाँ पे कोशिश ये की जा रही है कि जो duplicacy of there in terms of the constituencies, right? बहुत जगह पे देखी गई है कि एक individual की एक जगह से ज़्यादा दूसरे जगह पे भी basically numbers हैं, नाम है electoral roll में, उसको reduce किया जा सके. So there can be other method not to include Aadhaar would be another options also, right? So people who can furnish their Aadhaar number would be allowed to present the document and establish their identity. So the entire aim of this bill is to reduce the duplicacy and integrate other form of identity with the Aadhaar card, right? So we'll see whether government would make some changes or not, because as of now this bill has been passed, and the further amendment can only be possible in the budget session of the upcoming session, right? So changes की जाएगी. Representation of People Act 1950 and 1951. The bill would be circulated in the Lok Sabha and it would be introduced with the various changes in the Representation of People Act as well as जो 1950 है और RPA 1951 है, दोनों में changes की जाएगी. The statement of object for the reason says that Section 23 जो है RPA Act 1950 की, that would amend linking the role of the data with the Aadhaar ecosystem to curb the menace of multiple enrollment जो की गई है, एक इंडिविजुअल की दो जगह पे तीन जगह पे एनरोलमेंट है, उसको रिड्यूस करने की बात कही गई. Now even if you talk about the other section of RPA 20 and even section 60 of RPA 51, this call for gender neutral service voters, जहाँ पे जब वर्ड वाइफ होगी उसको रिप्लेस किया जाएगा स्पाउस से, राइट? सो दिस इज टू इंश्योर दैट जेंडर न्यूट्रलिटी इज देयर, राइट? यू कैन यूज दिस फॉर पॉइंट फॉर मेंस आल्सो. मेंस के लिए इस तरह के पॉइंट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. Derivative trade in 7 agriculture commodities has been banned. The decision was taken by the Security and Exchange Board of India because जो derivative trading है, फ्यूचर में जो प्राइसेस बढ़ रही हैं, खास करके commodities prices काफ़ी हाई हैं. Even the food inflation is pretty higher in India. So because of the reason being, the experts are of the opinion that this decision was taken to cool off the inflation, because we have seen recently there would be some election that would be conducted in states of Uttar Pradesh, इवन इन उत्तराखंड. तो इस चीज़ों को देखते हुए इस सारी चीज़ों पे बेसिकली ध्यान दिया है सेबी ने, ताकि मार्केट को रेगुलेट किया जा सके और प्राइस को कंट्रोल किया जा सके. What is a list of the item that would be banned? So some of them include the trade in chana, wheat, paddy, that is a non-basmati, soyabean derivatives, mustard के जो derivatives होंगे, mustard seeds जो होंगी, crude oils होंगी, और मूंग. जो ये सारे जो 7 item है with immediate effect, they would not be allowed in the derivative trading, right? So the new contract shall be launched till further orders, and SEBI has earlier banned chana and mustard derivatives between the period of August 16 to October 8 respectively. Now what is National Commodity and Derivative Exchange? एक ऑनलाइन commodities exchange है जहाँ पे primarily agriculture commodities को ट्रेड की जाती है. It was established by the Company Act 1956 in 2003, and some of the leading financial institutions are partnered like ICICI Bank Limited, National Stock Exchange of India, and even NABARD is a part of it, right? So trading is almost done in 27 commodities till March 2018. अब इसको reduce करके 25 agriculture commodities कर दी गई हैं, and even the 7 has been banned till time being. So NextDec is an independent board of directors with no direct interest on agriculture. The Jammu and Kashmir Delimitation Commission proposal, which is again in fact important in terms of giving the representation and bifurcation of seats. Basically this commission is important because ये mains में भी आपसे सवाल पूछे जा सकते हैं. So recently Jammu and Kashmir Delimitation Commission has proposed for the increase of 6 seats for the Jammu and Kashmir and 1 for the Kashmir division. So जो commission है इन्होंने 16 सीट रिजर्व की थी scheduled caste और scheduled tribe के लिए under the territory, but the name of the 16 constituency was not still declared by the commissions. So the commission has specified the district where the ST and SC seat would be reserved. The total associate member अगर बात करें, ये सारी चीजें तब की गई है जब 2011 की सेंसस थी, उसके अकॉर्डिंग सारी चीजों को कार्व आउट किया गया. According to census, the population of Kashmir division is 68.8 lakh और जम्मू की जो total population that is 53.5 lakhs. The Kashmir division is currently having 46 seats और जो जम्मू की seats है वो 37 है. Now, what more the commission has said in 2020, 6 months after the recognition of Jammu and Kashmir, the Delimitation Commission was formed. और एक कमीशन की जो chairmanship थी, I mean, it was headed by Ranjana Desai. This name become important for exam and many other competitive examinations. So the commission has MPs from Jammu and Kashmir and its associate member also, because they call for a lot more representation in terms of political representations, the expert representation, and the people from the Delimitations Commission. Delimitations क्या है? What is the word actually delimitation mean? यहाँ पे ये वर्ड जो है बाउंड्री रीड्रॉ करती है इन टर्म्स ऑफ लोकसभा एंड इट्स फॉलोज द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी रिप्रेजेंटेशन, जहाँ पे मास पॉपुलेशन जो है या फिर जो अंडर रिप्रेजेंटेशन पॉपुलेशन उनकी प्रॉपर रिप्रेजेंटेशन हो एज पर द सेंसस. एंड द एक्सरसाइज इज कैरिड आउट बाय द लिमिटेशन कमीशंस दैट हैव फोर्स लॉ एंड कैन नॉट बी क्वेश्चन इन एनी कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ, राइट? तो इनके जो से होती है वो फाइनल होती है विच कैन नॉट बी क्वेश्चन इन एनी कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ. द प्रपोजल टू रेज लीगल जो लीगल एज है मैरिज की वुमेन्स के लिए वो बढ़ा दी गई है. इट इज इंक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम 18 to 21. दिस वाज द बिल व्हिच आल्सो कॉल फॉर अ लॉट मोर कंट्रोवर्सी एंड फाइनली द गवर्नमेंट हैज सेंट दिस बिल टू द पार्लियामेंट्री स्टैंडिंग कमिटी फॉर स्क्रूटनी आल्सो. तो जो रिकमेंडेशंस आएंगे वो आने वाले जो बजट सेशन है उसमें चेंजेस लाई जा सकती है. सो द यूनियन कैबिनेट हैज रिसेंटली पास्ड द प्रपोजल टू रेज द लीगल age of the marriage for the women's, right? And this call for that when the Prime Minister has announced in the Independence Day, which he calls for that India should make both women and men at the power, right? So the government has introduced amendment to prohibit the child marriage. 2006 जो है उसमें amendment की जाएगी. Consequently, a big amendment would be there in terms of Special Marriage Act and Hindu Marriage Act 1955. तो जितने भी provisions हैं, जो भी हर एक रिलीजियस की जो लॉ है, जो प्रोविजंस हैं उनमें चेंजेस की जाएंगी. सो द डिसीजन इज बेस्ड ऑन द रिकमेंडेशंस. द प्रपोजल वाज सेट बाय अ स्पेशल कमिटी जिन्होंने एग्जामिन्स की कि वेदर व्हाट शुड बी द राइट एज टू गेट अ मदरहुड. एंड इवन इट इज इम्पेरेटिव कि देखा गया है कि एज बढ़ने के बाद जो मैटरनिटी मोर्टेलिटी रेट है उसमें भी डिक्रीज हुई है एंड इट हैज इम्प्रूव द न्यूट्रिशनल लेवल रिलेटेड इशूज ऑल्सो. द टास्क फोर्स हैज रिकमेंडेड द एक्सटेंसिव कंसल्टेशंस जहाँ पे यंग अडल्ट्स स्पेशली यंग वुमेन्स के साथ डिस्कशन की गई. द टास्क फोर्स वाज सेट अप बाय द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट दैट आल्सो इंक्लूड द मेंबर ऑफ नीति आयोग एंड सेक्रेटरीज ऑफ द WCD, हेल्थ, एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्रीज एज वेल एज द लेजिस्लेटिव डिपार्टमेंट्स. If you talk about the National Family Health Survey 5, these data are very relevant in terms of increasing the age. This is what the government has been backing about. So they said, according to the National Family Health Survey data 5, the total fertility rate is decreasing for our population, right? And the idea behind this is to empower women, right? Marrying at the right age and the right maturity, even when the body is equipped with, is very important for the physical and mental development of a child. So according to the data of National Family Health Survey, India attained a total fertility rate of 2.0 और replacement rate जो है वो 2.1 के आसपास है. That indicates that the population explosion in the coming years is unlikely. And the data also revealed that the child marriage has come down marginally. जो पहले 23% पहले 27% थी 2015-16 में, अब वो रिड्यूस करके 23% हो गई है, राइट. सो दीज आर इम्प्रूविंग. So the reason being, the government has stated that the time has come that we should also increase the age for women from 18 to 21. But the expert are of the opinion कि बहुत सारे और ऐसे repercussions होंगे, क्योंकि individual right है to give a choice, and even this has continued for many years, right? Even pandemic के बाद, जैसे मैंने आपके साथ daily news analysis में भी discuss किया, the age has actually shifted from 18 to 20 or 21. So let's see what are the recommendations that would be coming by the Parliamentary Standing Committee. Once this is amended, we'll also discuss in detail, right? So this was all about the fortnight current affair for the December, right? We have a lot more other initiatives for you, like daily news, editorial analysis, IAS Gazetted magazine. We have PIB compilation, MPR will be very soon coming up in the videos, and the gist of Yojana and Kurukshetra. You can watch all these initiatives, and these videos will definitely help you to sail through the journey of civil services. If you have any other concern, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.